Hi, I'm David Sanchez, an agent with Team TLC of Mihara Associates. Today I want to talk about what to know when selling a house by owner. So let's check them out. Here's some of the things you have to consider when selling your house by owner. You may have purchased the home maybe a year or two, or maybe a lot longer than that, or you might have inherited the property. But there's some things that you need to be aware of when trying to sell the home on your own. The first one I would look at is the price. How would you determine the selling price? You can easily go online and look up on Zillow. Sometimes you can go on the tax collector's website. They may have an assessed value on there. But one recommendation I would make is you can hire an appraiser. By hiring an appraiser, they can come out and assess the value of the home based on the type of home, the size, the location, and give you also the recent homes that have sold in the area. Now, one thing to be careful about hiring an appraiser is that they may use comparables of homes sold in the area, but it could be homes that may have been sold by owner. Could be homes that may have been sold on what we call the MLS, what real estate agents use, or it could have been a sale that may have been transferred from one friend or family to another. So the appraisal report might not be partial to what the true value of the home would be when you come to sell it to another person in the market. A real estate appraiser could actually give you a number that actually might be higher than what the home is really worth. The next important would be photos. Definitely don't plan on using your iPhone or your smartphone or a tablet. If you can at possible, hire a professional to make sure that he gets high quality photos, videography if possible, aerial photos, the drones, to be able to showcase your home and also the neighborhood. If it has any amenities, if it has any parks, anything, schools that might be nearby, anything that can increase the value or the appeal for a buyer to come through. Majority of the time, what I find is on for sale by owners, they have very few photos of the home, no videography, or the pictures are very dark, the home is very cluttered. Also on the exterior, they could be on the curb appeal side of it. You might have trees that might be dead, might be overgrown, or you can clearly see that the house hasn't been mowed in forever. Now that you figured out your price and your photos, the next thing would be marketing. Everything so far may seem easy, but this is actually a tricky part. For sale by owners, typically the site that they're going to go to would be Zillow, which is very common. You will definitely get a lot of calls from real estate agents and investors looking to get to your home. It can become a full-time job just screening the calls. Buyers do use the site Zillow to look for homes that may be sold on the MLS or for sale by owner. One drawback of selling as a for sale by owner is you're going to have limited exposure on where your home's going to be found online or even on social media. This is something that Zillow can't compete with. Now that you got your home already priced, you have the photos, and you have it online listed for sale, the next thing you need to figure out is how are you going to manage the showings? Again, you can kind of see this is starting to build up and become more and more difficult. I'm very well sure that you work a full-time job, so you need to get this nailed down very quickly if you're really serious about getting the home sold. Definitely want to be able to schedule the showings within the time frames that some people, they may have different work schedules. You might have people that might want to come in the morning, might be in the afternoon, might be in the evening, also on the weekends. So that's something you really want to try and plan on strategically, so that way you have either listed online the schedule of when those appointments can be made. That way it fits your schedule. Also, another recommendation, if you have a really good friend or a trusted person that can help you out, or even a family member that might live close by, in the event they can show the home for you. But again, it's just showing you that it's another task to juggle in selling your home on your own. The next part of it is going to be the contracts and disclosures once you get a buyer to come through. Now we're starting to get a little more technical, a little more legal when it starts coming to this process. You want to be able to have access to the right contracts. As I had mentioned before, once you have the home online being marketed, you're going to get a lot of phone calls from buyers and investors. One thing to be on the lookout for is that if you do get a contract, read it thoroughly or get it checked out by a real estate attorney if you have the means to do so. Some of these contracts can seem very overwhelming, and a lot of the words that are listed in the contract can be very confusing. One recommendation always to look out is to make sure that the contract is not assignable. Now, you can get a buyer that can come through and they can make a good earnest deposit saying they want to buy your home, put the deposit, but what happens is that they could actually tie up your home for however the long period of length of time. Could be 30 days, could be 45 days, could be 60 days. But what that does is actually give them the right to either buy the home or sell it to somebody else for more money. Now for you, it may not matter to you because you're getting your home sold, but at the same time, you don't want your home to be off the market for that long length of period of time when you can truly be getting somebody else that might be interested in buying the home and getting the deal done. Once you already got your property under contract, the next thing that you need to look out for will be for the inspections and the appraisal. Now, the inspections is an important hurdle that you have to get this part crossed over unless the buyer is buying it without any inspections to be done on it. The inspections is going to protect the buyer, not you. So this is something you really want to be at that appointment when the inspections is done. That way you could actually hear firsthand if there's any repairs that they would make any recommendations, or that may be an uphill battle or a challenge for it to be financed by a lender. Now, I did mention about the appraisals. The appraisers are going to come to the home, and likelihood they don't want to talk to you or to anyone that's going to be at the property. So you want to be able to at least be there at the home to give them access, but also let them go ahead and do their assessment on the home. But definitely want to get them in, because the appraiser, once they get their report done, it can take between 5 business days before it gets back to the lender. Once you already got the property under contract, the next thing to look at will be the financing for the buyer. You want to see whether if they've been pre-approved or pre-qualified. It's actually 2 different things if you didn't know that. Pre-approved is just someone that walks into the bank, sits down with a loan officer or a bank representative, and they pull their credit and just look at what they stated is what their job income is that they make per month. Based off of that, they can give a pre-approval. The pre-qualification actually goes a little bit more in depth. That's when they're going to look at the credit, they're going to look at the job history, they're going to see if there's any kind of collections, they're going to review their tax records, they're going to look at any kind of investments or any assets to actually put them a step above the person that is actually pre-approved. So you definitely want to look out for someone that is pre-qualified. It's going to be a much better deal for you versus someone coming in and give you a higher offer that's only been pre-approved, because the deal can fall apart. This part may not seem as challenging, which would be finding a reputable title agent. The reason why you need a title agent is so that way when the sale does happen, they're going to be able to convey clear and free title to the buyer. What happens is that you do have to pay for the insurance policy, is to make sure that the title is being given free and clear. If you don't do that and you give the title over to them with any kind of liens or whatnot onto the property, that can come back on you and have legal issues down the road. So you want to really look out for a reputable title agency, and you can do a Google search and look at the reviews, even shop it around. The rates can be varied from one agency to the next. Now, just to recap on some of these things, you have to figure out the price, you have to figure out how you want to be able to showcase the home with the photos. You got the marketing that you got to deal with. You got to handle the showings, contracts, disclosures, inspections, financing, title agent. This can be very overwhelming, and this is a full-time job if you do decide to handle this on your own. If you do decide to maybe hire someone, I would definitely make a recommendation, interview not just the first agent, but interview 3 agents. Check their reviews, look at their most recent sales that they've sold, check their track record. That's my recommendation I can make for that. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to click the link below in the description for Team TLC's free relocation guide. And don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when we release new videos. Thanks again, see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then watch these videos for more information.